It's pretty obvious through the whole Chagos deal with regard to the military base over there in the British Indian Ocean that Starmer's not exactly been terribly honest about what's going on with the deal and trying to get it pushed through and all the rest of it. And we hear in the news that Trump's actually given his approval, which we'll cover in this video in a short while. What I want to do is play a short piece of this interview between Rupert Lowe and Talk TV to get some of his thoughts on it. So let's have a listen.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
I'm all right. Now, a quick word from you on what I just broke, the news that Donald Trump has given his approval to the trading off of the Chagos Islands. I'm not happy about that. Are you?
No, I'm afraid it's a big mistake. I guess he's not paying for it. And I suspect that Starmer's told him a pack of lies, which he's bought. So the question is it the last act of a surrender monkey of a prime minister who has generally made a complete mess of almost everything he's done?
Before he goes on there, I don't know if anybody's seen it. One of the massive issues with regard to the Chagos Islands and the whole we're going to give it to Mauritius and lease our base back is, would anybody else put a base anywhere in that area? And I saw a map last night of a potential issue with regard to that, the fact that somebody actually could. So it's, it's dicey territory already.
As you quite rightly say, it's basically a bunch of human rights lawyers indulging their fantasies. And unfortunately, the British public are going to be paying for it. As you already know, their standard of living is under threat. It makes absolutely no sense at all to be giving money. We actually paid Mauritius to drop all their claims on the Chagos Islands in the 60s. We paid them 3 million quid. And we documented that they were
3 million quid and the Chagossians were removed. And you've got to think what's going to happen to them.
Happy with that. As I've said in the past, arguably the Seychelles and the Maldives have got a bigger claim on the Chagos Islands. And ultimately, the Chagossians do not want to be governed by Mauritius. So Starmer bangs on about,
sovereignty, doesn't he?
Sovereignty issues elsewhere, but yet, as far as I'm aware, the Chagossians have not been consulted on this one because I think they've probably given the wrong answer or the answer he doesn't want.
Exactly right. It's interesting you said that no doubt Two-Tier Keir was lying to Donald Trump because his penchant for lying is, I think, becoming something of a national crisis. And of course, I need to ask you about his current circumstance and the Mandelson affair. I've been pointing out, and I'm sure you noticed it. I assume you were in the House yesterday.
Well, I'm going to stop that there because they're going to talk about Peter Mandelson, and that's not the subject of this video. This is the Chagos deal, the Chagos Islands. And you heard Rupert Lowe there quite rightly saying, hang on a minute, this geezer's not exactly been honest with what's going on. And Trump somehow has bought the whole thing. So let's have a look at another couple of pieces of information here. This is the British Intel Twitter feed, and they've basically said Trump formally approves Chagos bill after talks with Starmer. Trump says he has held productive discussions with Keir Starmer about Diego Garcia and describes the US base there as strategically vital to American national security. He indicates he understands Starmer has made the best deal he could. Bollocks. But makes clear the US will act to secure and reinforce its presence if the lease ever falls apart or US forces are threatened. For Britain, this still reads like one of the worst deals in modern history. Now, this is the tweet from Donald Trump. I have had very productive discussions with Prime Minister Keir Starmer about the island of Diego Garcia. It's the site of a major US military base, strategically situated in the middle of the Indian Ocean, and therefore of great importance to the national security of the United States. We have the most powerful military in the world, Our military operations over the course of the last year were successful because of the strength of our warfighters' modern capability, our equipment, and very importantly, the strategic location of our military bases for staging and other reasons. I understand that the deal Prime Minister Starmer has made, according to many, the best he could make. However, if the lease deal sometime in the future ever falls apart, or anyone threatens or endangers US operations and forces at our base, I retain the right to militarily secure and reinforce the American presence in Diego Garcia. Let it be known that I will never allow our presence on a base as important as this to ever be undermined or threatened by fake claims or environmental nonsense. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So in other words, all right, Starmer, you can have your own way, just about, but be warned, any funny business, and we're going to pile in there like a bloody steam train. At the end of the day, this is really still a dicey situation, because if you look at the location of those islands, where they are, and then you look at what's in easy reach all over the place, it's a crazy idea, absolute crazy idea, and it's only going to end up bad. Now, there's a very interesting one here, and this is just in. President Trump made very clear to UK Prime Minister that if the UK attempts to evict the US from our strategic base on Diego Garcia, the military will take the island by force. Let it be known that I will never allow our presence on a base as important as this ever to be undermined or threatened by fake claims or environmental nonsense. John Kennedy, Senator John Kennedy, did a fantastic job explaining exactly why this base is so essential to the United States. So let's have a listen to this. Let's blow this up a little bit.
The United Nations. This is the Indian Ocean, Madam President, as you well know. One of the most important parts of the world. Here's China. Here's India. China's trying to dominate all of these sea lanes. Here in the middle of the Indian Ocean is a group of islands called the Chagos Islands. America has a military base, Diego Garcia. It is an extraordinarily important military base, one of the few in the world where our military can reload submarines, houses a number of Navy ships. Our military base there houses long-range bombers that we use to carry out missions around the world. We have to work hard every day to police our military base, not just the base itself, but the land, or rather the water surrounding it, because China knows how important this military base is. The United Nations is saying, United Kingdom, you bad people, give the Chagos Islands back. And President Biden could stop it, and so could Vice President Harris. But they're for it, all in an effort to curry favor with the people at the United Nations, who walk around with their NPR tote bags and their organic broccoli. Why on God's green earth would we do that? China, of course, is delighted because, number one, China's already started currying favor with Mauritius. Mauritius will now be in charge of the security of the Chagos Islands and our military base and the water surrounding it. President Trump, please pick up the phone and call the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and say, don't sign that treaty. Don't give away America's military base. If we object, they won't. If we don't say anything, they will.
The date of that video was November last year. And it's a good overview of how important to the Americans, at least, that base is. And you can see the double dealing. You can see the underhanded tactics, and you can see the ultimate outcome of, what they wanted to do in that area. The talk about the laws and deals that were made in the 60s. And ultimately, whatever Starmer said, I think Rupert Lowe gave a very good example, really, right at the beginning of this piece. Trump swallowed it. But I think really woe betide anybody that crosses the thing. And I've already seen signs. You have to go and look for them. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share my stuff. I'll talk to you soon. Toodaloo.